Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Skillstream. In today's video, we will see what is hybrid inheritance and we will solve one example of it. So let's get started. So first we will see the definition of hybrid inheritance. So hybrid inheritance is nothing but combining various types of inheritance together to get a single inheritance, that is a hybrid inheritance. So as the name only indicate, hybrid, in the sense we need to combine various types of inheritance together. It can be multi-level inheritance, it can be multiple inheritance, it can be single inheritance, or it can be a hierarchical inheritance, right? So in this image, first image, you can see class A and class B gives you what? It gives you single inheritance, right? Then coming to class B, C and D, it gives you what? Multiple inheritance, right? So the combination of this single plus multiple, we got what? Hybrid inheritance. Now the second image shows you what? Class A, class B, class C together constitute what? Multi-level inheritance, right? Class B and class D is a type of single inheritance. Got it? Now, again the third example, the third image. The third image, can anyone tell me? Yes, this is giving us single inheritance, and again car and this racing are two different base classes, that is multiple inheritance. Okay, so in the next slide we will see how we will write the syntaxes, right? We need to write the syntaxes according to the base class and the derived class. By looking at the diagram, we need to construct the syntax. Fine. So now the syntax for this first image, as you can see, class A is a base class, right? So we will write class A. We will define the data members, functions. Okay, class close. Now we need to write it for base class B. Class B. Class B is a base class for class D, but it is a derived class which is getting derived from class A. So we will write class B public class A, name of class A, right? We will write the data members as well as functions of class B. Cool. Now coming to class C. Class C is an independent base class. This is a base class. Okay. Then define the data members, functions, close the class. Okay. Now comes the class D. So as you can see in this image, class D is a derived class which is getting derived from two base classes, class B and class C. So how to write? Class D colon public class B comma public name of this second class. Define the data members and define the functions. Okay. That is how we need to construct the hybrid inheritance. Moving on to the next example. So here we are dealing with multi-level as well as single inheritance. Okay, so write down the syntax. I did for class A. Class A, data members, functions. Okay, now go for class B. So class B, public, name of base class, then data members of class B and functions. Close the class. Now, as class C is a derived class which is getting derived from class B. Okay, data members and functions of class C. Now one class is remaining, that is class D. Class D. So this class D is derived from class B. So public, name of base class B. Write down the data members and functions of class D. Understood? So for writing the program for hybrid inheritance, we need to check the hierarchy, how the classes are constructed, how the classes are there, like the hierarchy, whether the classes is at level 1, level 2 or level 3. So the levels of the classes will define the whether that particular class is a base class or whether that particular class is a derived class. Okay, now we will solve this first example. So as you can see in this image, the student is a base class. Okay, test is derived class, result is derived class, and sports is base class. Now we will solve this example and check the output. So we have class student. Okay, so we need to define the members of the class. So we have data members as roll number, int roll number, character name. Okay, public void get data. So get data function we write for taking users input, right? So I need to write give a message to a user, enter the roll number and name. Okay, So first we are asking for roll number. So we will write the variable for that. Next we are asking for the name. Cool. Now for printing, void put data. In this we are displaying, so roll number, in which variable we have stored it, roll number. Cout name name. Okay. End of line, end of line. So we are done with our first class. Now coming to the next class. The next class is class test, which is a derived class. Class test public student. Data members are you can use protected access specifier as well. Data members are float, marks 1, marks 1, comma, marks 2. Void get data 1. So here just write it down. Cout enter marks 1, marks 1 and marks 2. Change the variable names here. Marks 1, marks 2. Okay. Now write void put data. Just copy this, change this to marks 1, in which variable we have stored the value marks 1. It's a bit lengthy, but it is easy. Marks 2. Cool. So we are done with our second class, right? So moving on to the third class. Third class is a separate independent class, that is sports class, having data member as score, public colon float score. Right, get data 2. You can give any name, whichever you want. Cout enter sports score. In score. Okay, then go with void put data 2. So here we just need to write Cout statement, sports score. Yeah, done. Moving to the last class, finally. So the last class is class result, that is the derived class. Okay, so for this we have two base classes, public test comma public sports. So in this, the data variable is total. Now what we can do over here is we can take a member function in which we will calculate the total marks. Okay, so how to calculate the total marks over here? We need to fetch the data from class test. We need to fetch marks 1 and marks 2 from class test. Okay, so before doing that, we need to get some data, right? So I can directly write the formula total equal to marks 1 plus marks 2. Clear? See out total marks obtained, semicolon. Okay, now as we have seen, we have calculated the total here, but before that I need to take the value of marks 1 and marks 2 from the user, as we have written over here, right? Enter the marks. So now we need to follow certain steps for getting the output, right? Means we need to first call all the get data functions, then calculate function to calculate the marks and total, and then finally display the total, right? So what we will do is we will create object of derived class, right? And in derived class, or you can call the member functions of base class like get data 1, get data 2, put data 1, put data 2 in main, or you can call it in the particular derived class. Both things will work. R dot get data. First we will ask for the roll number and name, and then R dot get data 1. Okay, we are asking for marks 1, marks 2, and then R dot get data 2. We are asking for the sports score. So here in this formula we need to write score also. Okay, now first I need to display the name of student and the roll number. So I will call put data function of student class, then I will call put data function of test class for displaying marks 1 and marks 2, then R dot put data 2 for displaying the score, sports score, and then finally what we are doing is we are calling the calculate function for calculating the total as well as displaying the output. So first then check for any missing curly braces. It's okay. We have covered all the open and close curly braces. Cool. Let's see the output. Check the output. Yes, we have not got any errors. So run. Enter the roll number. Enter the marks. Marks 1, marks 2. Okay. Enter the sports score. So as you can see, roll number, name, marks 1, marks 2, sports score and the total marks obtained. So that is how hybrid inheritance work. We need to check the hierarchy and write the program accordingly. Okay. So this second image is for you people to solve. So for any problem in getting this program done, you can just comment. Thanks for watching.